From the library at St. Paul's Catholic School, and I have some books for you today. When I was here last week, in order to help them read, because we know that it's not something that just comes naturally to most people, they're not, you can't sound them out, so we call those sight words. So we have what are should somewhat master. So they've divided these words up into groups. So these cards are pretty old. They're like 15 years old, and I memorize them. For example, this word here, little, it's very hard to sound out, but a jumble of letters, and for them it is. But because these are sight words, they have to be memorized. And I would have them repeat little, jump, by sight. They don't have quite an understanding of letter sounds yet at 3 and 4 years old. Some of them do, and that's great. These blue cards here, these are our pre-K 4 words that should be mastered by the end. They should master by the time they get to kinder. Okay? And so this is something that you want to do to help your child or grandchild or brother. And it's like, oh, which ones are they supposed to know? So Google sight words by grade level, third, even the fourth time they see them. It'll take them weeks. But just by you showing them the card and showing them the word, eventually they will. They only sit down for 5 words. Don't make them sit there and force them to look at these words, because then they're really not going to want to read. Just see how many you can, eventually they will. But if you wait till they're older, it's very hard. So start, wonderful author, he changed the way children's book characters. This book here, The Cat in the Hat, it is very long to read, but after they've reviewed the first set of cards, starting pre-K 4, and they don't have to go through, and they would find the words that they knew. They may not be able to read, but Joseph could say to read, but finding words that they know from the sight words really helps to build their reading skills, sight words. So this really encourages students to read. And then he was challenged by his publisher. The whole book is made up of just 50 words repeated over and over and over again. So he did it. So here we have the front of our book, and here we have the spine for everyone, or easy, and the first 3 letters of the author's last name. Doctor is Dr, but Seuss is Seuss. Yes. Okay. I am Sam. Sam, I am. I do not like them. Sam, I am. I do not like her there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with... Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Eggs and ham, I do not like them. Sam, I am. You will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like, not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, would you, could you in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain, not in here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. You do not like, would not, could not with the goats. Would you, could you on a boat, train, not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like, you say, try them, and you may. Try them, and you may. Say, I like, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so, I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. So this is also based on some sight words, and this is a great book to help your child read with repetition. Reading to you, maybe make an audience. Bring your stuffed animals and listen with your. Seuss is a great author for the beginning readers, and you will see they're often marked next week. And I'm going to read this one for our older audience, and it's called Critters. Oh, I know. Yes, I've read this one before. I'm trying to pick books that I've read. And so what kind of mischief happens with these wonderful pets. If you look at the front here, you can see and again, once again, we have the front of our book and we have our spine. Here's our label, the whole set of authors, and they turn their labels sideways. Okay. Chuck Richards, and he is also the illustrator. He drew the pictures. Okay. Camp Yippee Yahoo. Now, Henry warned Mr. Mahoney, our snake is an escape artist. Is my name, and creature control is my game. Perfect considered herself the queen of cats and had no need for babysitters. That evening, the dog took the critter sitter for a run around the block. When they got home from their walk, Henry closed Slobber Chops in the laundry room for home. Early the next morning, the critter sitter was laundry room anyways. Henry followed the blue dog tracks leading into the dining. Queasy feeling flooded over Henry. Would a snake eat a cat? And then he followed the slimy trail into the laundry room. It was a disaster area. Bath. Little Miss Perfect yowled at Slobber Chops as he shook. Snack. Breakfast was late, so Henry opened a can of Kitty Delight. The cricket box off the counter. Oh, that's just great, cried Henry, grazing in the yard. Oh, what a mess. His property before. Henry raced around a hedge and stopped dead in his tracks everywhere. Soon the pooch's front paws were digging holes so shimmering shears. Well, we're just leaving. What a very, very strange little boy, Mrs. Angora said to herself. Shook the water, spraying sheets of soapy water everywhere. That's it, scolded Henry, hands in his knees to track down the snake and the frog when he noticed something slip. The snake is on the loose, the bird is gone, and the tree frog is loose, and now Slobber Chops is locked. Sitter was on trial. His crime, animal neglect in the first degree. Prosecutor purposed Henry to the maximum sentence, 525 dog years in prison, without parole. This is all in his imagination. Henry was jolted back to reality. Found the bucket-headed bloodhound. He's got a bucket on his head. Down the hall and into the bathtub for the third time. Little Miss Perfect yowled as Slobber Chops shook. Pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. A freaky feathered tail in a spectacular swan dive. Little Miss Perfect prepared to pound keeping. Henry went through the house, swabbing up all the floors clean. No, the fish! Henry bolted into the bathroom, plunged his clenched teeth. You're a Little Miss Perfect pain in the neck. Hold of the snake and tugged with all his might. Finally, the reptile suddenly landed on Henry's nose and flopped over to finish. Taking aim, he clanked the cookware down onto his head, then carefully reached. Peepers hopped across the counter and onto the dining room table as the front door opened. Becky and Bobby Mahoney whooped back into the cage and closed its door with her hooked beak. As everyone, it sure seems like you've kept everything under control. Here. Mrs. Mahoney rewarded the critter sitter with a hefty bonus. Oh, this again for us, won't you, dear? The critter sitter's eyes nearly popped out of his...
Everywhere.
All the critters went everywhere. Who escaped? Do you remember?
Snake.
Have a snake,
And the dog.
bird, tree frog, and the dog was just a mess. And Little Miss Purr could...
But I only have 2 pets.
Ah, okay, boys and girls. So next week we're going to talk again about our sight words just as a reminder, and then we are going to words or just your sight words. You can Google those anywhere on the computer and learned a lot of words. Don't worry, start with the pre-primer words and see how many you know, and then move on to words. Not all of these words can be sounded out. That's why they're called